And welcome back to round 1 of the YugiTuber Grand Championship. In this match, we have Duelrock88, who's going to be piloting Geargia, going up against the Ignoble Knight of YouTube, which, if you couldn't tell by the name, is running Noble Knights. And for this match's commentary, we can go ahead and welcome back P-Bunny.
Hey guys, I'm glad to be back with the fabulous Cimo here. And, yeah, Noble Knights and Geargia. What do you think about this matchup?
It's really interesting because Geargia play a lot of back row, but at the same time, Noble Knights play a lot of, equip spells, so it's I don't really think anyone's going to be running, any mass back row removal, so it's going to be a battle of... It's really going to depend on if Ignoble Knight can establish a Artorigus early and just potentially shut down all of Duelrock88's back row.
Yeah. So you gotta put on that helmet on early and protect it.
Yeah, but the problem is, though, Geargia are really resilient because they're just super consistent and they can just keep plussing, and it's just going to make it difficult for Ignoble Knight of YouTube to really get anything through. But looks like Duelrock88 is going to go ahead and start us off with a Geargia Augur, which is a new Geargia card that saw
new card,
maybe... Yeah, it saw a little bit of play when it first came out, and then the deck completely died after that.
Yeah, I think this came in the structure deck, and a lot of people are playing it since... yeah, new cards are good, you guys.
It is.
It's it's like a Shadows, right?
Yeah, it basically does what Geargia Armor does, but it does it on a normal summon rather than being flipped. So it just helps kind of accelerate your plays.
Yeah, so your first turn play isn't just set one, and now you actually have a first turn GGX play.
Exactly, and talking about accelerating your plays, he's going to special summon the Accelerator, and he's going to overlay into the Geargigan X. Which, this is pretty standard for Geargia players, you know. Yeah. Going to detach the Accelerator, which is really important to detach the Accelerator because he can get it back later.
Yeah.
And it looks like GGX
can get a card from the deck and the graveyard.
Yeah, and so he adds an armor off of that. It looks like he's going to upstart. Probably just fishing for as many back row cards as he can, unless he has some more plays that he can do. And it looks like the file for this video cut off Duelrock88's life points, so I don't know if that was intentional to kind of hide the hand so we can't see it, but we can't see his life points. We can't
see the life points.
It's okay, we're going to be able to keep track of it. I had to do this once before, so we're fine.
I see. Did he hide it? He recorded it for you?
I think it's from his perspective, and I think he hid it just to kind of make it as we're looking at it from a third-person view, yeah. So, Ignoble Knight of YouTube going to drop down a Boars. He doesn't start with the med drop. Yeah, Boars is the second best option.
So what Boars does is you equip a card onto it, and then it shows 3 spell equip cards from the deck, and then your opponent picks one. It's kind of like Spellbook with the Crescent.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to equip the Caliburn to that, which is really good because now Ignoble Knight of YouTube can just start gaining life points.
It's really cool. I think this play, I think Boars pops the... Does Boars pop the card or no?
I think it's just if Boars is equipped with it. He might pop it though. I'm not sure. I don't know. We're gonna find out when he does it. It's been a while since I've seen Noble Knights. Yeah, Noble Knights. It's been a while. I know. Medrot pops.
Yeah, I know Medrot pops. Yeah. So the combo for Medrot is you equipped it, pop it, and bring out Boars, and then you go off from there.
Right, so Noble Knight gaining the 500 life points off of the Caliburn, which is really cool because every time he re-equips Caliburn onto a new monster, he's allowed to gain 500 life points, so that's really abusable.
Yep.
And so, just as you were saying, P-Bunny, he's going to go ahead and get his 3 cards that he's going to target for Boars, which is, I believe, Destiny, Excalibur, and Guinevere?
Yep. So, if you're a Noble Knight player, you don't want the Gwen. You want it to be in grave, so you can equip it from grave.
Mm-hmm. And so
they're going to roll a dice?
Yeah, it looks like... I think Duelrock88 just confirming, just like we are. I don't think he's as familiar with Noble Knights. Or maybe he's just double-checking for the effects. Yeah, so it looks like he's going to declare the numbers. And, it's a 1, so he's going to get the Guinevere. That's really unfortunate. Wow. Yeah, Guinevere is so cool that you can equip it from grave.
Yeah.
But having those noble arms in Destiny, or having those noble arms rather in Grave, isn't completely bad because A, it's going to thin his deck, and B, if he decides to re-equip anything else, or rather, if he goes into a rank 4 play, he can just re-equip those cards from the Grave. So
It's the rank 5 King Arthur, right?
yeah,
Because right now I think the Boris is rank level 5. Whenever a Noble Knight is equipped with a equip spell, it goes up 1 level, I believe.
and it also gains the effect. It's a normal monster otherwise.
Yep.
And so he's going to equip the Guinevere. And so, as to answer our question, it looks like the Caliburn's going to stay on the boars. It doesn't get destroyed.
Yeah. I think Gwen now is it becomes a Catastor.
Yes, I believe so. And that also the boars, I believe, has an extra 300 attack, so it's actually at 2,000. And yeah, since it's Guinevere, I believe isn't it based off the attribute of the monsters, what the effect it gets?
Yeah, so if it's a light, if it would be destroyed, it would not be destroyed. It would be destroyed this card instead. And if it was a dark, it's a Catastor effect.
Okay, so yeah, and since Boars is equipped, it's now a dark, so now it's going to have that protection from the Gear Gigan if he decides to attack. But Duelrock going to activate his Gear Gigan and go ahead and just search for another card, which, I mean, the Gear Gigan is such a amazing rank 4 Xyz. I mean, essentially just regenerates all the resources that you use to make it.
I think he should have attacked over the GGX right there, so he wouldn't have that search, but...
He might have feared the back row, though, because 3 back row and knowing you're going up against Geargia, that's kind of something to fear, because Geargia just plays such a myriad of different back row cards. And it looks like he's going to go ahead and summon the armor.
I think he's going to go for Arc Knight right here, or Castell.
And there's one accelerator. Oh, and there's going to be a second accelerator. Interesting.
I feel like Ignoble Knight kind of bricked, because he didn't set any cards. So those 4 cards are either monsters or equip spells that he doesn't want to put onto the boards.
Right.
Oh, Ragna Zero, that's a really good play.
That's a really good play.
Now Noble Knights can't do anything, because everything they equipped always gains something.
And Duelrock88 is going to draw a card off of that as well. And since Ragna Zero is in fact a quick effect, he can also do that on Ignoble Knight's turn.
Wow, that's so good.
Yeah, Ragna Zero puts in so much work against this deck.
Who did Sonar play the round before, and who did Ignoble Knight play the round before?
No, this is round 1 still.
Oh, it's round 1. Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is round 1.
Cut that out. Hey, you gotta cut that out, man.
And so it looks like Duelrock88 is going to set one and pass. But, I mean, really strong field he's got going on now. We see a Medrock coming down from Ignoble Knight.
I think he just drew that card, because if he had a first turn, he would have played it.
Yeah, there's no reason he would not have gone into Medrock turn 1.
Unless he really is feared in the back row.
It could be, but it looks like he's going to equip the Guinevere, and now that's going to allow him to activate the effect of the Medrock. But yeah, he's going to chain the Ragna before he even gets the opportunity to do so. And that allows him to draw yet another card. It's just Ragna Zero is so good. Ooh! Yeah. We see a last chapter of the Noble Knights come down.
Is that one of the new cards that came in the box set?
Yes, this is like one of the greatest cards that they have. Basically, it allows them to special summon a Noble Knight, and then you equip, or from your graveyard, and then you equip a Noble Arms card from your graveyard to that monster.
Oh, wow.
So it's basically a Booj Incarnation.
Yeah, it's like a Booj Incarnation, yeah.
For Noble Knights. Yeah, it's a incredibly good card.
Is there any downside to that? Like, he can't do anything this turn or something like that?
I believe there's a downside to it, but I cannot remember it off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think he's pretty good right now.
Yeah, I mean, well, we see the Mystical Space Typhoon come down.
I think this is the Noble Knight that does not re-equip.
Destiny does re-equip.
Oh, it does re-equip, so, oh.
Yes, the only one that does not re-equip is, actually there's a few, but Excalibur doesn't re-equip.
The targeting one, right?
Yes, and that's the one that you mainly want to go for, because Excalibur is usually the problem card.
Yeah, I think he did the MST on the Meldrot, so when he brings out the second monster, it could re-equip onto the new monster.
And so it looks like he's going to summon the Gawain, or Gowan. And this is going to allow him to go into... Yeah, so the Destiny is going to be destroyed now, and that's good, because now it's going to allow him to go into a rank 4, which... He has some options. He could go into the rank 4 Artorigus, but he could also go into Exiton if he does not fear the back row.
But we see the Traptrix Nightmare, and that's just going to be a nightmare for Ignoble Knight, no pun intended.
I think that was definitely pun intended. But we see the rank 4 King come down.
Alright, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Now that's
so I think if he didn't prematurely activate the MST on the
Destiny,
draw, he would have went for a rank 5 play instead.
I think that's, and the Traptrix Trapple Nightmare is all he needed to deal with that rank 4 King, so because now it's not even going to have the chance to re-equip any of the cards. So, I mean, Ignoble Knight now is left with an empty board, and Duelrock88 is pretty much free to do whatever he wants right now. He's going to flip up the Gear Gear Armor, which is going to allow him to search for another Gear Gear monster.
He's going to search for the Gear Gear Armor?
Yeah, and... You know, it's funny, like, looking back, it's like, this deck, just with the amount of consistency and advantage it can generate, it's almost, like, really similar to Burning Abyss now, just because anytime, like, things die, it's like they always just manage to regenerate themselves.
That is so true.
Yeah, like, the Gear Gigant...
Unlike Burning Abyss, not every monster can special summon with their hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Only the race card can.
Yeah, but we do see a Tin Plate Goldfish come down. That's interesting. And he's going to special summon the Gear Gear Arsenal off the Tin Plate Goldfish, and he has a lot of damage on board right now.
Look at that giant hand. He probably owns one in real life. Look at that. Oh my god. I want to high-five that right now.
You know, if this is Sonar we're talking about, he probably does own one in real life.
Probably owns 2.
Just because he can?
Yeah, just because he has 2 hands, so, whatever. Might as well get 2. And he's just going to go for damage. I think he's just going for game. He probably realized that Ignoble Knight doesn't play Gores. Oh, the Battle
but he plays a Battle
I was wrong. Oh, dang.
Yeah, Duelrock88 had over 7,000 damage on board there, so...
Yeah.
I mean, that Battle Fader's huge.
Yeah.
He's probably
wondering why he didn't, scoop it up already.
I mean... Most of the time, that's what people would do, but it looks like in main phase 2, he's going to go ahead and tribute off the Arsenal to special summon another Augur.
And he doesn't want to draw the Augur, because I believe you can't attack the turn that you summon it.
Yes, you cannot attack the turn you summon it. Or use its effect,
so he doesn't want to draw onto it.
And also it thins his deck out, too, because, there's 2 advantages to it. He's going to make another Gear Gigant X, and he's going to get back the Gear Gigant Accelerator that's in Grave. And he's going to special summon it, and he might go for a 3rd Gigant here.
I think he might go for a Daigusto, or not. Or Rhapsody, okay. Might be
interesting, he's looking at the Rhapsody.
He banished all the swords?
Yeah, so then there's no chance of them re-equipping in case Ignoble Knight manages to top deck into a Medrod or another Last Chapter.
Yeah. I think, unfortunately, we see Traptrix Nightmare on the back row, so I think... either he has to have a Raigeki, Ignoble Knight has to either have a Raigeki, or he's hopefully going to Exiton and has a Book of Moon, maybe.
Looks like he's going to banish the Guinevere, and he's also going to probably banish one of the Noble Arms. Looks like he was thinking about Destiny. I don't really know. I don't know what the best one would be. I mean, Destiny can be a pain, but Excaliburns also can be a problem as well, because Excaliburn has that effect from Grave.
Yeah, the rank up effect, right?
Yeah, so that's also something to consider. And then he's just going to equip the Rhapsody to the Gigant, and that's going to give his Gigant up to 3,500 attack, which is pretty beefy.
Yep, it says another card.
Rhapsody is just such a cool card. It does so much.
It has to be a Raigeki right here, or it's going to be, that's it.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, unless he top decks into a Last Chapter, I mean, that'll give him something, but as we know, that Duelrock has the... Oh, he's going to tribute it off for the Iktar.
I believe that's the popping back row one.
Potentially. That is like the one I'm unfamiliar with, but I do know that Noble Arms Gallatin will boost Iktar up by 1,000, putting it up to 26, and then it'll lose 200 attack every turn thereafter. And it looks like he's going to do that and attempt to run over the Geargian X that still has material on it.
Oh no, actually, Iktar's the Dragon Ruler one. You can banish 2 Noble Knight monsters from your grave, special summon this card.
Oh, interesting. But rather than do that, he just decided to tribute over it.
Yeah, I guess there's no reason to leave a Battle Fader on board.
Yeah, I guess not. Can you special summon it from anywhere?
Oh, it has to be from grave. You're correct.
Oh, from grave. Okay, so
wait. Special summon this card from hand or grave. So it
hand
could
or
be
grave.
from
Okay,
hand.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so that makes sense. He probably didn't banish it, yeah, because there's no need to, and he'd save the Noble Knights in case he needs it later
that
on.
Incarnation.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we know that card's the nuts. Oh, we see the Regeki come down though. I think that might be the end of it for this game.
Yeah.
He might have another Battle Fader though. We don't know.
Sonar's so ahead. He's like a +1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know his hand. Probably has like 5 cards in hand.
Probably,
to his,
yeah.
to his 3 cards.
Yeah, I wish Duelrock88 just had it a little bit lower so we can know how many cards he has in hand, but that's okay. I mean, as we can see, Duelrock88 has just insane advantage over Ignoble Knight right now.
I think once that first GGX resolved the second time, that was it. That was too much. He was too ahead after that.
So that's really funny. Apparently, Duelrock88 activated that Regeki in the battle phase. He got ahead of himself, and Ignoble Knight was calling him out on it.
Oh, I guess.
So
I guess
it looks like
YugiTuber championship is serious business here. It can't be misclicking.
Apparently, I mean, I don't think it matters though because the Gigant's at 35 and the Ragnazir on the armor is 3,500. Actually, no, I guess it's just barely enough. It's gonna leave him with like 300.
Cowboy for a game. Like
he could if he has an accelerator, he could just easily go into Cowboy here. So he's going to attack with the armor and the Ragnazero, knock him down to 300. And no, it doesn't look like he has the accelerator. He's just going to go ahead and just reset the armor.
But if he doesn't have anything, he's going to go Cowboy for a game next turn because he can just flip summon the GG armor and then get a level 4, summon it and make Cowboy for a game. Yeah,
so pretty much it's like Regeki or Dark Hole or Bust at this point for Ignoble Knight, or just some mass destruction method, whatever it might be.
And it can't be an Exciton because of Traptrix Nightmare.
Unless he has like a Lance. Like he has like Last Chapter and like Lance or something.
That would be the nuts.
Looks like he's gonna. Oh, he top decks the BLS. Whoa, Ignoble Knight of YouTube with the top decks. Wow.
I want to know what Sonar's life points is. Is this enough for
Sonar?
game?
No, I think Sonar's still at full life.
Oh, but he has the Fiendish Chain.
We know Sonar has plenty of answers to this. It just depends because if the BLS activates its effect, he can use the Traptrix Shrapnel Nightmare or the Fiendish Chain, and if the BLS attacks, he can use the Fiendish Chain. So, Duelrock88.
I think we were overexcited when we saw the BLS drop.
Well, I mean, it's BLS. I mean, he top decked it in like 99% of other situations. It's like, oh, BLS, it's so good. But in a situation where you're like minus like 10 probably in card advantage, it's not going to do a whole lot.
It's like, oh, BLS.
But as we see it, the Traptrix Shrapnel Nightmare is just going to take care of it. So, and
it just ends.
Duelrock just needs to attack, and that's gonna be it. Or make Cowboy. He could do either one. So it looks like
did we see a Cowboy in his extra deck? Maybe he doesn't have it.
Oh, he might not. I'm not sure. I don't remember off the top of my head from the last time we saw his extra deck.
All I saw was Giant Hand, and it blew me away.
Well, you could have also run Giant Hand in your Spellbook deck.
Yeah, I just don't have the money for it, You
don't have the money for it over DN.
Yeah. If you don't have it in real life, you shouldn't play on DN.
I actually agree with that. He's just gonna summon the Arsenal and attack. It looks like. But we see another Battle Fader. Wow.
You can't chain Maxi to it.
It looks like he's going to anyway. I think at this point it's kind of irrelevant. I mean, I do not see any conceivable way that Ignoble Knight of YouTube can come back from this. Because now we can just make Cowboy and it's over. But he did. Okay,
he doesn't run Cowboy.
He doesn't have Cowboy.
Apparently, he doesn't have Cowboy.
Oh my god, yeah, he just said it in the chat that he doesn't have room for it. I was gonna say, he could have just easily done that.
You could easily cut the giant hand for a Cowboy.
Yeah. But no, yeah, Duelrock88 made a misplay there. He was supposed to preemptively use the Max C if he wanted to get the draw off the Battle Fader. He can't chain it because it's just it doesn't activate, it just immediately summons.
It also does damage step, I believe, right? Or whatever.
Yeah, because it's a condition. It's not like it doesn't start a chain. It's just when
I see.
Yeah, when it attacks, then yeah, and that's gonna be it. Ignoble Knight's just gonna scoop it up. But yeah, I don't believe the activation of Battle Fader starts a chain. I believe it's just a condition.
Alright, so who chose to go first here?
I'm not sure. I missed it. I think okay, yeah, Ignoble Knight looks like he decided to go first. Which makes sense.
Ignoble Knights want to, yeah.
Yeah, because he wants to just get the he wants to put on the helmet. So he's just going to set 2 and pass. Duelrock just summons out the Gear Arsenal, and that's really, if it's Arsenal or Armor, he'll take either one.
He's going to poke and then main phase 2, go into Armor, I think.
I imagined, yeah. And that should actually be 1700, yeah, because Gear Arsenal gains 200 from himself, being a Gear monster. And yep, he's going to tribute it off.
I wonder what those set cards are if they weren't anything that would stop an Armor. I mean, Arsenal.
I wonder as well. I mean, it could even just be like set Noble Arms. You never know. Yeah. And it looks like he's just going to set the Armor, and I imagine he's just going to set a million back row, as Gear do best. There's 1. And 2.
Oh man, that warning.
Interesting.
Creature swap.
Duelrock88 citing the creature swap. That's a perfect pick for this matchup because that card does not target, and that's actually Noble Knight's worst nightmare.
Yeah, and he decided to keep it in his hand, which I would also do it.
Yeah,
no reason to bluff.
Yeah. Absolutely no reason to set it. That's basically your ace in the hole if Ignoble Knight of YouTube does go off.
Yep.
And it looks like he's going to set a 3rd card in pass. He must have bricked really hard if he has nothing to do just besides setting back row. The Mass Change 2nd.
Oh, wow. That's a really interesting card in a Noble Knight deck.
If you think about it, it's actually really clever because they switch between light and dark attribute. So you can go into either Koga or Dark Law depending on what attribute the Noble Knight is. It's a really cool idea.
Oh, that's cool. And also you can throw away your dead swords that you draw.
Or Guinevere as well, which is
Guinevere's too, yeah.
Yeah, which is the biggest thing you'd want to get rid of. So Duelrock's going to flip the Armor. He's going to grab, I believe he grabbed an Accelerator?
Yes, the race car.
And so, the race car. And I imagine he can just pretty much go off here. I mean, he doesn't know what the back row is, but I mean, he
doesn't go for it.
Yeah.
Because essentially that race car was a free card, so if he torrentials here, it's still 1 for 1.
Exactly. And so, yeah, as we can see in the extra deck right now, he does not play Cowboy.
He runs double Dweller, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's a really interesting pick. I noticed that as well.
Because there's no BAs, so I don't know why he's running double Dweller.
He must really fear graveyard-based decks, whichever ones that we have, but it doesn't matter. It never hurts to be prepared. So he's going to summon the Gigant, he's going to detach the Accelerator, and he's probably going to maybe get the Accelerator back? No, he's going to go to his deck. And grab one from there. Ignoble Knight of YouTube right now just needs to do, he needs to mount some sort of offense.
He just put a monster on the board that's going to get warninged, and then summon another monster on the board.
Well, he could... Ignoble Knight might have some Battle Faders in hand as well, and he might not have wasted it on just
Not true.
that Gear Arsenal, because, you could take that damage. It's not going to hurt.
It's only 17.
Yeah, exactly. It's nothing. So he's going to take the 9. It's supposed to be 17. Because the Gigant doesn't count as a Geargia monster. I think, yeah, Soner's just correcting him.
I think it would be very sad if he goes for Battle Fader when he's about to die and he gets a warning. That would be very, very sad.
And he attacks with the Gigant. That puts him down to 2,300 life points. So Noble Knight's it's kind of crunch time right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't even have a monster in grave, so last chapter's dead at this point. He just needs something.
And Soner's getting super, super ahead. He has so far +2 off the GGX and the armor from the beginning of the turn.
Yep.
So even though we can't see his hand, he probably has like so many cards.
Yeah. And he's got the armor all set and ready to go.
And we see the OMG in the chat. Ugh.
So we see a Foolish Burial come down. That nice platinum rare Foolish Burial from the Noble Knight box set.
You can see all the rarity on DN.
You can't, exactly. And
I think he's gonna dump a monster.
He's gonna dump.
He probably has last chapter.
It is, but he needs a equip spell to use last. Oh, we see the MST. Oh, he's probably gonna MST one of his back row.
Oh, that's such a bad play.
Oh my god. Yeah, this is
a desperate move right here.
It's really desperate, but it looks like he's kind of forced in this position. And there's the last chapter, as we predicted.
And there's the warning.
Oh, the warning. I mean, after doing all of that and negging yourself -2, I mean,
this reminds me a lot of my game This reminds me a lot about my game, where it just got wrecked so hard.
I don't know. There's no Book of Moon, but
I feel you, Ignoble Knight. I feel you.
And that's
Brick City is real.
That's gonna be the end of the match. Duelrock88's gonna take it. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Thank you, P Bunny, and we'll see you in the next match.